OpenAI dropped GPT 5.5 days after Claude Opus 4.7 launched. And ever since, the internet has been going crazy arguing about benchmarks and token prices. But here's the thing. Benchmarks do not tell you which model to actually use. So a different approach was taken, putting them both to the test with the exact same prompts to see which one is really better. The coding models will be covered later. The same prompts, the same tasks, and testing these two models. By the end, you'll know exactly which one to use because the answer is not what most people are expecting. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start off with test number 1. This is basically just a little warm-up. You have to get them ready. Okay, so this is low stakes, but it tells you a whole lot. So both models were given the same prompt, something that requires actual reasoning, not just like information retrieval, to see how they think, how they communicate, and also whether they make assumptions or they ask the right questions. So right away they behave completely differently. GPT 5.5 came in structured. It was direct, it was confident, and it got to the point pretty fast, if I'm being honest. Now, you could just feel that it was optimized to give you something useful immediately. There was no fluff. There was no unnecessary padding whatsoever. Now, for Opus 4.7, it basically did the same. The language is different, but the results are the same, which is important. And no winner yet. So, for this one, it's a tie. Now, let's get on to test number 2, okay? So this is where it gets so real. A dense research paper was taken, not just like a toy example. It was something pretty in-depth. And both models were given the exact same task. Analyze this, pull the key findings, and give something that could actually be used. So then they were timed, and Opus 4.7 was so much faster. I mean, we are talking about a meaningful difference in the time just to give you a useful output. So if you are someone that works with documents quite a lot, then that speed adds up over a week of work. Now, speed is only one part of the score. Also, looked at the accuracy. So did it miss anything? Did it make up anything? And usefulness is actually playing a very big part in this, meaning that the output could be pasted into a report without having to rewrite it, without having to reprompt anything. Now, on accuracy, they were both pretty solid. They didn't make anything up. There was no hallucinations from either of the models. But when it comes to the usefulness, GPT 5.5's output was better for a real work context. It provided more valuable answers and it accessed the documents more credibly. Now, here is something that's worth knowing. GPT 5.5 uses significantly fewer output tokens to complete the same task compared to Opus 4.7. So, for the second test, GPT 5.5 scores the win. That's 2 tests out of the way. Now, let's build something. So, before we get into full app builds, something that most comparison videos completely skip was tested. That is the design. So, can these models actually build something that looks good? So, the same prompt for both. Build me an animated landing page. I want it to look clean. I want to look modded. Something that actually looks like it was designed with intention. Now, this matters because building a functional app and building something visually impressive are 2 completely different skills. And to see where each model stood before we got into the heavier stuff. And this is the result from Claude Opus 4.7. And this is the result from GPT 5.5. As you can see, both are similar. The animations look clean and it looks fine. The only real primary difference is actually just the font. The code quality underneath was fine on both, so for this one, it's a tie again. But now, let's get back to the testing. So this is test number 4, and it is the big one. Now, both models were given the exact same prompt. Build me a mood regulation app. Same specs, the same instructions, nothing different, and then let them build to see what they would come up with. Now, upfront about what happened here, because this is genuinely so interesting. And it's the kind of thing that benchmarks would never show you. Both models built something impressive, and seriously mean that. The UI on both of them was actually really nice. But here's the difference that actually matters. GPT 5.5 built a mood regulation app that worked on the first command. You could open it, you could use it, you could interact with it, and everything functioned the way it was supposed to. Functional on day 1, no fixes needed. Now, Claude, on the other hand, built something beautiful, but it didn't exactly work. The functionality was there on the first prompt. App looked great, but you could not actually use it yet. So, here's the question that you have to ask yourself. What do you need first? Something that works or something that looks good, but it doesn't exactly work in the beginning? Now, for most real use cases, you need it to work. So, GPT 5.5 delivered it on the first try. Claude gave you the vision, but it needed more work to actually get there. That is actually consistent with what the data shows. The data shows that GPT 5.5 scores significantly higher on execution benchmarks. It is tuned to finish the job. Now, this is the test that most comparison videos never do. And in my opinion, it is the most important one because in real life, you do not just send the one prompt and then just simply walk away. What you do is you iterate, you make changes, you ask for fixes, and the question is, does the model actually understand what you are asking for, or does it just pattern match your words and basically just hope for the best? So both apps were taken and the same change request in sequence and watched each model handle it. And here's what was found. Both models actually iterate pretty well. So for iteration, GPT 5.5 is more predictable. Claude has a higher ceiling if you communicate your intent extremely clearly, but it does also require slightly more precise prompting so that you stay on track. Now, both are genuinely good at iteration, but they require different things from you as a user. Okay, so that is 5 tests, and here's what actually happened. So, GPT 5.5 wins on speed, token efficiency, and first prompt functionality. Now, if you need something built and working pretty fast, then GPT 5.5 is your model. It is reliable, it executes, and it does not waste your time or your money in getting there. Now, Claude Opus 4.7 wins on design and aesthetic quality. If you are building something that needs to look impressive, then Claude is the better choice. Both are priced the same and have pretty similar features. So, if you've already set up on Claude, then no need to switch your entire workflow just yet. If you found this useful, then please drop a comment telling which model you are currently using and what are you using it for. And also, since you made till the end, it's appreciated. So give this video a like, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with everything that is coming out to the AI automation world, and also turn on the bell notifications so that you never miss another upload. And I'll catch you on the next one.